if someone says like, hey, next year, like if I called you and say, hey, bro, I'm taking a whole year off next year, you're gonna be like, what's wrong with you, right? But even if you don't look at my
Yeah.
bank account and realize that I don't have a mortgage, and you realize that we don't need the extra, you know what I mean? We don't need that money next year or whatever. Like you're still gonna look at me like, why aren't you working? It's like, but I don't need to. You know what I mean? Like so, like, but we've become this
Yeah.
hamster wheel, right? We become part of this hamster wheel where we have to work 5 days a week or more. Like you said, it could be 6 or 7, and then we have to continue to pay these things, right? And when we don't have a bill, we somehow go find another bill just to like get like, I could buy a new car, and we try to find more stuff to continue
Yeah.
to consume, because if we don't consume, you know what I mean? I don't know. We feel like then our money's just sitting there, and then people make you believe like, oh, don't save money, it doesn't do anything for you. It's just like this craziness of like everyone's trying to grab every penny that you make, right? Companies are like, oh, start with me with $9 subscription. Oh, don't worry, it's only $5 a month, right? But everyone's trying to squeeze that little penny from you. You know what I mean? So then you have to continue to work and be stuck in this wheel.
We live in a consumerism world, right? Yeah, we live in a consumerism world where everything has to be consumed, right? We consume more food than we actually eat, right? We order more food than what it is, right? We get mad at the large isn't large. It's whatever it is. Like we order a steak, and the steak has to be a certain size. In reality, an actual portion is a lot smaller than we actually anticipate, right?
right?
Or we buy way more food, right, than we actually need and put in the fridge, and we have to throw food away, or whether it's vegetables, because we tend to find some other way to eat whatever it is. And the consumerism part comes into play where, yeah, when I lived, I made six figures a year. My wife made six figures a year. We bought whatever the heck we wanted. We spent whatever the heck we needed. But at the end of the day, when we look at the bank account, we're just like, man, we're pretty much living paycheck to paycheck, but spending a lot more that we need to make more to continue what we're doing, right? And in the end, my wife wanted to do something different. She chose a different path. So, giving her 2 years off, or close to almost 2 years off of working, we moved to Sacramento, where it is a lot cheaper to live, bigger opportunities for her to actually continue what she wanted to do on the back end. And I only with one paycheck coming in, month to month, or sometimes again, I only work 6, 7 months out of the year at this time. So, I within those 6, 7 months, I make just enough to survive us for an entire year, if not a little bit more, where we don't need so much money to actually consume and so forth. And paying off bills or debt or whatever it is comes into play. And once we get rid of all that, then obviously we'll find somewhere to spend the money, right? That's a given. The more money you make, the more money you spend. And that's kind of how we ended up, living our lives, where the more money you make, we spend a lot more. We spend a
Yeah.
lot more. And the consumerism, again, like you said, your Disney Plus account, or your Hulu account starts coming into play. You start looking at it like, I barely watch 3 shows a week. Like, well, what am I even doing spending
And those are minimum.
shows?
Those are minimum things
Yeah,
we're talking about that are less than $10. But we're talking about people also get caught up in other stuff. Like, hey, go get a massage, right? Oh no, if you buy this pass, you can come 12 times or whatever, right? Oh, hey, I'm gonna go to the gym.
yeah,
Oh, sign up now. If you pay the whole year, is this much, right? And so everyone's just trying to like grab whatever you make. Literally, like, I feel like you make a check, and people will try to grab it, right? And so when we look at these athletes, and we look at these professional, whatever, actors and professional athletes and different things, we're like, oh my god, how can he go broke and he made $100 million, right? It's like, oh, you can go broke. Remember that one time, I think you were
oh
there.
yeah,
We showed up to Vegas, and I was like, how does someone spend 5,000 in a day, right? And then we're in the limo, going from the airport to the hotel, and I'm like looking around the lights. I'm like, oh, I know how you spend
yeah,
$5,000 a day, right? And like, I know how you can spend $1 million in a day. You know what I mean? Like, you can spend $1 million in a day if you really wanted to. So I
oh
think,
yeah,
watching those people become rich and famous, and they come from nothing, and then they blow it. It's like, if we could blow, I always say that, we could blow our $1,000 checks, then they could blow a $10,000 check, and they could blow $100,000 check. You know what I mean? Like, because
oh yeah,
the toys just get better, right? The toys just get nicer. So yes, we all eat 3 meals. Hopefully, not so we can't say all, because a lot of people don't have 3 meals, but let's just say the people who are fortunate had 3 meals or more. So our meals are whatever, right? You make a chicken, you might have a salad or whatever. But if you have more money, you know what
yeah.
I mean? Now your meals change. You feel me? And you can find a way to spend more money on
Mm-hmm.
food, even though it's the same chicken, the same beef, or the same vegetables. We could find now a chef. You know what I mean? Or I could find whatever, right? So there's
Yeah.
ways for you to spend this money. So I really